Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us today. I'm Trevor Norris. I'm the director of the Posthumanism Research Institute here at Brock University. We have many exciting activities going on in the PRI this year and in the current coming year, 2026. Please check out our website to see more about upcoming events. Or please go to our social media. Or join as an affiliate. I can put a website link in the chat for anyone that would like to join us as an affiliate. So please check our calendar and you can see more about upcoming events. I'm very happy to have with us today Nikoleta Zampaki. She is a postdoctoral researcher at the Faculty of Philology at the School of Philosophy of the National and Kapodistrian University in Athens, Greece. She earned her PhD in modern Greek literature from the National and Kapodistrian University in Athens. She's the author of the monograph titled Biocosmium, Perception of the Poet, Nature and Beauty in Walt Whitman and Angelos Sikellenios' works. She's also the editor of the Exeter Studies in Environmental Humanities, Past, Present, and Future Eco-Narratives at the University of Exeter Press, and the co-editor of the book series Posthumanities and Citizenship Features at Bloomsbury. The title of her talk today is Color Pluralism, a Posthumanist Approach to the Color Narratives of Ancient and Modern Greek Lyric Literature. So thank you again for joining us, and thank you for your patience with some of our technical difficulties.
Dear colleagues, dear Trevor, thank you very much. It's actually a great pleasure for me to join you, and greetings from Athens in Greece. So I would like to give my deep gratitude and cordial thanks to all of you for what you are doing in the Posthumanist Research Center at Brock University in Canada. So let me share my screen and presentation in full mode. Yes, I suppose that everything is fine now. Actually, my topic is on color pluralism, a posthumanist approach to the color narratives of ancient and modern Greek lyric literature. This is also part of many projects on colors that I'm currently running right now. The first project is my forthcoming monograph on colors, and specifically an extensive study of colors in ancient Greek and modern Greek lyric poetry with the use of environmental humanities theories and post-humanities theories as well. And of course, this is the first project of mine. The second project is a forthcoming special issue on eco-narratives of colors. And a third project is doing research on colors broadly in the framework of environmental humanities and post-humanities in different texts, not only in theory. But it is mandatory, it is necessary to understand a little bit more about theories of colors and what we mean when we are talking about colors, about theories of colors. How do we conceive, how do we perceive, analyze, interpret, approach colors in different texts? So color is light actions and active visualization, a space of transition and coexistence of various visual stimuli. We see colors everywhere. We see colors around us, in front of us, behind us. So colors are part of our life, part of the human and non-human world. And colors actually shape, even co-shape with us our life. So we feel, we sense, we see, we understand, we conceive, we perceive colors everywhere. In antiquity, we have the first treatise on colors that has been written by Aristotle. Aristotle's treatise on colors is a foundational treatise, foundational title, in which we read the most intriguing approaches to colors and how humans perceive colors, and all of us actually have this embodied and living experience of colors on colors in different colorful environments. Then there are, of course, many titles, but we have to highlight, as we say, the most remarkable ones. The other title is Claudius Ptolemy's Optics, and then keep moving to the 19th century with the Theory of Colors by Goethe. We can actually see Goethe's color wheel, full of the wheel that is a whole interpretation of colors: yellow, green, blue, red, and orange, purple. We have actually this palette of colors, and the law of simultaneous color contrast by Michel Eugène Chevrel. And last one, we have this new practical treatise on the three primitive colors assumed as a perfect system of rudimentary information by Charles Heiter. So there are many treatises. The majority of them are philosophical ones, while others are mostly cultural or even historical, anthropological. But we have to address that colors as phenomena by nature, as they stand, are full of philosophy, and we have to approach and reapproach and evaluate and reevaluate them constantly. So color theory, as it stands right now, is the historical body of knowledge describing the behavior of colors, namely in color mixing, contrast, harmony, themes, and symbolism. Traditional color theory has implicitly been about conceptual color, a term for color created in the abstract rather than a physical paint or visual color relationship. So conceptual color is diverse from materials or colorants, independent of viewing contexts and mixes according to idealized rules. We should emphasize on the differences between conceptual and material color, because when we conceive a color, it means that we conceive the ontology of the color, these multi-layered, as we say, features, the dynamics of colors, the ontological framework of them, how the color, I mean, what color means, how about the color itself, and then the material aspects, the material features, the materialities behind, as we say, colors, because color is a multi-dynamic phenomenon, is something that is dynamic, is vivid, is supportive to the diversity of things, even in the democracy of not only the colors themselves, but also the democracy of humans and non-human world in colorful environments. We will see, as we say, about it. We keep it because democracy is a political term coined by ancient Greek philosophers and scholars, but as we say, traced back to antiquity, we have to keep moving to the contemporary theories of what we perceive, how we perceive this democracy of colors in multicolored, in polyphonic, in multi-voiced environments where we have different colors that should be together, should live, as we say, in symbiosis. So as each influences the visual color we experience through our eyes, there is an interconnection between material color, conceptual, and visual color. Material color is the physical pigment, dye, filter, pigmented or dyed material or light source that originates the experience of color, because the color itself, as it stands, it has its own experience, but also in nature, but we also have this embodied experience of colors. Generally, artists very often speak of mixing different colors, not only artists, I must admit, because art is, as we say, the first discipline that studies colors, but now in literature, in other fields of research, we are studying different colors, some mix of them, and this is actually very challenging and supportive to the term of democracy, as mentioned earlier. Choosing colors for painting, or we are talking about the materialities of colors. So material color is the sense in which we equate color with the physical world and speak of a pigment as cadmium, orange, or phthalo green, or dye as yellow number 2, or talk about a white shirt or a red sky in our daily life, or even in a text or artwork. Radiant color is the mixture of light wavelengths emitted by a light source or transmitted by a filter or other semi-transparent medium, or reflected from an opaque material such as paint, ink, dye, or photographic emulsion. This defines color very narrowly as a physical stimulus independent of any other lights or surfaces around it. So radiant color is not equivalent to the material color, but we never experience material color directly. It is impossible, as we say, to touch, to have the sense of haptics of a color, but we only see the color, we only see the radiant color it creates, because we see through our vision, we have the eyes, and we see the color, the materiality of a color through our vision. In addition, a pigment's radiant color changes as it is diluted, mixed with different vehicles, applied to different surfaces, or viewed from different angles or under different types of light. The same color, the material color, can produce an enormous range of different colors. It is like the rainbow. We have many colors in the rainbow. We see, as we say, the rainbow, the one united, unified color of rainbow. But the truth is that behind this united, unified color, we see different colors, different radiant colors. The visual color is what we see. Literally does not exist outside individual consciousness. It is very important because when we see a color, when we interpret colors, the mentality of us, the individual consciousness, even our senses, emotions, all are working. So it means that it's one of us. We see, for example, the red color. And for me, at least, red is the color of love and passion. Or for another scholar, maybe red is the color that is associated with the anger. It is different approach, different analysis, depending on the external factors, on other, as we say, parameters like the state, conditions, the emotions that we have this moment or that moment. So color experience is remarkably personal, individual. Of course, all of us, we accept that there are colors, we accept that there is red, but it depends on the senses, on the experiences of us, how we analyze, we interpret colors. It varies significantly across individuals, genetics, age, experience. So the same radiant color can appear as very different visual colors depending on the intensity of the light and the context in which it is viewed. As a practical matter, then the connection between a material color and visual color can be highly variable across individuals and viewing context. It depends on the context, as we say earlier, and the experiences that we have, the condition, the state, the emotional world of us in a specific moment. Conceptual color is color as an abstract concept, a sensory memory, a color label that calls to mind a visual or material color that is not present as a physical exemplar or as a visual perception. This color defined primarily through language, memory, custom, and habit. Conceptual colors can be communicated as single color walls, compound color descriptions, the average color of a variable environmental stimulus, a coloring color theory, blue, yellow, and blue make green, an imaginary color, specifically in poetry, a metaphorical color, again in poetry, a golden sunset. How does it is possible, as we say, how is it possible to see a sunset that is golden, and much more. So conceptual color is the most, as we say, compelling, the most intriguing, the most difficult to approach, to understand. This is challenging because we have the language. Sometimes the language also help us, but language maybe is the barrier of not articulate ourselves properly when interpret a text that is up thematically to colors. Compared to material, radiant, and visual colors, conceptual colors are simplifications in three respects. There are categorical colors that apply equally to many different kinds of material or visual color. Blue can refer to eyes, skies, berries, different and heterogeneous, as we say, things, plastics, flowers, textiles, ceramics, paint, stained glass, photographic emulsions, television screens, and lakes. But they can refer to colors that are unknown to the person to whom the color is being described. Yellow is the color of my true love's shirt, like, as we say, the sun. They disregard variation produced by individual differences in color sensitivity and viewing conditions. Alone view that twilight is still called green, and they assume that color descriptions mean approximately the same thing to all people. So there are many simplifications, make conceptual colors very useful, but at the same time, very difficult to analyze them, to interpret in text. So we have these barriers with the language again, but it is great to see that when we are talking about a color, we have these correlations, we have these connections. Green is associated with the grass, or even blue with the sky and sea, or white is the symbol symbolizes peace. Black symbolizes death. It depends on the context, on the customs, on the perceptions, because in some traditions or even indigenous communities, maybe black is the color of something good and white not, but it depends again on the different things. So conceptual color, this is the magic of colors as well, to color our conception, to color our knowledge in different ways, color ourselves through coloring. It sounds like a motto, but it's very difficult when we are, as we say, approaching colors in praxis. And then we have a complex notion, excuse me, about color harmony, because it's a complex notion because human responses to color are both affective and cognitive, involving emotional response and judgment. Harmony is a concept that is very close to the concepts of symbiosis, of balance, of things that are positive, as we say. When things are in harmony, are living together, communicate each other, and it seems that we have this balance, as we say in nature, symbiosis. Symbiosis is a Greek-rooted term. When humans and non-humans are living together with no disruptions, with no destruction and so forth. It sounds like a utopia. It sounds like something very, as we say, hopeful, but in the end, symbiosis is a core concept of understanding better the kind of relationship between the humans and non-human world, and actually focus on the kind of relationship. Some other scholars maybe tell that we have parasitic or even hybrid relationships, but symbiosis is very optimistic and hopeful to unite, as we say, things through diversity, through differences. This is the most challenging to make it possible, and through disruption to unite, and then like it is circular, like a cycle. Responses to color and the notion of color harmony is open to the influence of a range of different factors, again, age, gender, personal preference, experiences, state, as well as the cultural, subcultural, and socially based differences which give rise to conditioning and lend responses about color. Context always has an influence on the responses about color and the notion of color harmony. It is also influenced by temporal factors such as changing trends, or perceptual factors which may impinge on human response to color. As mentioned earlier, color is associated with things, people, or even situation or materialities. So we have symbolism. When doing analysis of colors on text, you can see that things are they sound, as we say, easy, but in the end are very complex. When doing research on colors on text, we have to take into consideration many parameters, many things to understand them. So symbolism is these associations, the resonances, the correlations between colors and states, feelings, like love. Black is associated with death, or red is associated with love, green is associated with hope. So the color associations depend on various, again, cultural, ethnic traditions across the globe, religious practices, and so forth. In environmental humanities, because, okay, it's great research, and we can see that is too broad and too wide, and we cannot cover everything in environmental humanities, because this is the discipline that I am working right now and doing my research. We have the many questions about colors as they perceived, conceived, articulated in different environments, in different contexts, in different texts. And how about the connection of colors with the humans and non-human world? When we are talking about non-human world, we mean we refer to fauna, flora, other life forms, but it is great to see, as we say, that things are not so, as we say, easy when doing research on colors. Prismatic ecology, a term coined by Jeffrey Jerome Cohen in 2013, when the light, depth, and various colors within nature are articulated in terms of complexities and materialities, addressing diversity, again, this polyphony that this democracy, as we say, that mentioned earlier, and color pluralism. It's very important to understand this pluralism, this diversity. Symbiotic mapping of interplays between human and non-human world is very important to understand that colors are part of our life. We overcome binaries, we overcome dichotomies, and we implement colors. We adjust colors, and we, as we say, understand colors as part of our life, of ourselves. Conception, perception, psychology of colors, the impact on humans and non-humans mentality, psychology, and embodied experience. It's very important. So color is not only the result of what we see, the visual stimuli, but the phenomenon. And when we're talking about phenomenon, we have to understand a little bit the mechanics, the structure, not only of colors, but also of the other. The other with capital means all of us, humans and non-humans. So a phenomenon is complex by nature, is natural, but at the same time sounds very technical. Is this sense of feeling the world around and experience. So color is a multisensorial, multi-layered, multi-dynamic phenomenon, and at the same time experience of living off in the human and non-human world. Serpil Opperman, Turkey's eco-critic, has introduced research on colors and prismatic ecology, critically extended it to colors, harmonic aspects found in nature to interpret them. But for me, at least, when doing research on colors, because we have talked too much about perception, conception, senses, things are not only restricted to prismatic ecology, to the theory of prismatic ecology and the material aspect and features of colors. We have to consider the field, the discipline of ecophenomenology. Ecophenomenology is a sub-branch of phenomenology. Ecophenomenology actually studies the ontological spectrum of the relationship between the humans and non-humans, considering also the concepts of conception, perception. There are two different things. First we conceive and then we perceive, and maybe at the same time is again complex things that are these processes that are also be done inside us. Interpretation of colors through our minds, senses, and embodied experience. Embodied experience means this embodiment, the bodily experience. So colors are hiatus, chiasm. Again, we have the interconnections, the interplays, the kinship, symbiosis of other colors. All colors are featured by the flesh of the world. So this is actually the basis of my research right now. The Merleau-Pontian concepts, hiatus, chiasm, and the flesh of the world, concepts that are found in Merleau-Ponty's later ontology. Flesh of the world is an enigmatic concept that describes the functionalities, the mechanics of humans and non-humans. Flesh, you know, is associated with the body, but the flesh of the world is the question mark of the being, the core, as we say, of the being. For me, it may be God. For you, it may be the absolute. For other, maybe something else. So this is why it is enigmatic in the Merleau-Pontian, as we say, discourse in the scholarship of Merleau-Ponty's right now, treatise, flesh of the world and chiasm. So colors as they stand are full of chiasms. We have these hiatus with other colors, again, complexities, but also colors have their own flesh, their own dynamic, their own functionality, and all of them, the colors, are part of the flesh of the world. The world being is, as we say, the universe. So human and non-human willingness to compose colors, to speak about colors, means that we create, we imagine, and colors actually shape and co-shape with us a narrative, a narration. So the ecologies of colors that we explore in different frameworks, in different genres, in different eras, it means that we have this dynamic materiality and transformations to take into consideration, because things are not, as we say, finished. They are also in exchange instantly, and instantly there is circularity, no end, no, as we say, launch, no start. In my research, I'm doing research on many poets because I'm comparative literary scholar. It means that I am in front of different texts. I'm reading different texts of different eras, of different ideologies, of different historical periods, of different literary movements, trends, of different scholars, different people, as we say, different authors. This is challenging, but at the same time, for me, is the key to decode how comparative literature not only is working as a discipline, but also the key to explore further commonalities and differences between different authors that, as we say, are intellectual partners. In my presentation today, I have selected two poets. The first is Sappho. Sappho is an ancient Greek lyric poet, and Odysseus Elitis. Odysseus Elitis is a modern Greek poet and novelist in Greece. Elitis actually has read Sappho's work generally, and Elitis has also translated Sappho's works from ancient Greek to modern Greek. We have differences. Of course, in Greece, we are speaking modern Greek right now. But we are studying extensively ancient Greek because we see that the treasure, the source of many things, in philosophy, in literature, in other fields of research, are found in ancient Greek texts. And this is great to see the connection between the past and the present. The connections not only linguistically, but the connection of many things, of ideas, of philosophies, of text. There is an interconnectedness in color poetics with eco-religious for both of them. The religious practices, religion is fundamental both in Sappho, in ancient Greek mythology, and elites, the Orthodox Christianity that is found, many references that are found on elitist text, and solar poetics of elites, because elitist poetry is full of lyricism and sun, full of, as we say, sun and sunny and light and lightness. So this is actually something to address. There is a mirror play between the two, and their biocosmic perception, the perception, how they perceive the world around them, is structured on colors. Colors and color is the example of emotion, eroticism, love, light, sun, Greece, history of Greece. This is something in many layers, not only from the layer of individuals, but also the collective layer, the collectivities layer. So Sappho's fragments, there are many poems that are under the collection that is titled Fragments, and the Action ST is the most well-known poetic collection, the most well-known poem of Odysseus Elitis that fortunately has been translated into English. The Action ST means this praise for the universe, the praise for the world around us, from micro to megacosmos, from the smallest, as we say, worm, to the biggest, that is, as we say, the sky, the sea, the horizon, something that we cannot even understand and perceive, maybe the God. I mean, this Action ST is the epitome of praising nature, Greece, history, modernity in general of Greece. And the color mechanics actually is very supportive for the ontological medium in Sappho and elitist lyricism, because lyricism, to write lyric poetry, it means that the poet, Sappho or elitist, someone that is writing under lyricism, means that is this ontological condition to perceive the world around us. Lyricism is not just a mere, as we say, articulation of senses, of love, of angriness, or this superficiality, as we say. No, lyricism is a specific ontological condition that lead the poet in this situation, has the merit to perceive, to conceive and perceive the world around him, her, them. It's something that requires from the poet's side, from the poet's end, to understand the ontological framework, the ontological spectrum of the world around us, including the colors as well, because colors are not separated, as we say. This comparative research is up to the study of a particular body or body of color imageries and colors entanglements with other life forms in different poetic environments. This is very challenging, dear colleagues, because Sappho has lived in ancient Greece, in Lesbos. Sappho actually was homosexual, and Odysseus Elitis, centuries after Sappho, has translated Sappho's fragments and works, has written about Greece and the beauty of Greece and history, and in different poetic environments, different eras, different times, different, as we say, conditions. This is very challenging, but at the same time, we will see how both of them, they communicate centuries through centuries. The connections with the past is very important. So by recognizing ancient and modern Greek lyric poetry as a particular response to the natural environment, we can derive insights into the ways in which readers would have engaged with it, and at the same time facilitate new readings on Sappho and elitist plant poetics specifically, or other scholars maybe have the opportunity to explore animal poetics, but me at least plant poetics, because plants are full of colors by their nature. We argue that species are agents of co-writing, co-producing, co-composing a poem of Sappho and Elitis, as both plants, text, colors, animals, everything, plants in my case, are evolutionary cultural systems. We think like a plant. Sappho and Elitis think like a plant, think like an ecosystem when doing research, characterized by flow and energy as transcorporeal bodies. Again, transcorporeality is a concept coined by Stacia Leimo about the flows and energies that are found in nature. Sumons at the same time that plants have a bodily presence in text. Some examples, some, as we say, passages, some poems from Sappho's fragments. The rosy finger moon surpasses all the stars, burning her light alike on the South Sea and over all the wild blossoming country meadows. Now the dew filters down in its beauty. Now roses bloom and the tender chervil and the flowery scented melilot. So actually we see that there is blossoming, there is beauty, flowers and are full of colors, roses again. These combinations with the salt sea, the blue of the sea, we see this variety. We can interpret that here are, as we say, the virgin ground of colors as they are perceived by Sappho and connected with love, with beautiful emotional world. As the sweet apple reddens on a high branch, fortunately again, Sappho's works have been translated from ancient Greek to English, into English. This is the good, as we say, news when doing research on Greek text. As a sweet apple reddens on a high branch on the tip of the topmost bough, the apple pickers missed it. No, they didn't miss it. They couldn't reach it. As a hyacinth in the mountains that meant shepherding, tread underfoot and to the ground, this flower all purple. Apple is sweet apple. We have the apple pickers, the hyacinth in the mountains, and the final color is purple color, sweet apple, hyacinth, and purple. We see these, as we say again, varieties of colors and the descriptions of nature by Sappho. Come to me from Crete. Crete is a Greek island. To the sacred recess of this temple. Here you will find an apple grove to welcome you, and upon the altars, frankincense flurry. Furring here, ice water bubbles among the apple branches. The masked roses have overshadowed all this ground, and now to the flickering leaves settles entrancement. There are meadows too, where the horses graze knee-deep in flowers. Yes, and the breeze blows here, honey sweet and softer. Here you take a garland, now also cypris is another name for the goddess Aphrodite in ancient Greek mythology. Gracefully in goblets of gold mixed nectar with the gladness of our festivities and pure the libation. So we see that again, we have the plant world and that is full of colors. We have the apple, the meadows, the flowers, again, the garland, the gold mixed nectar. Gold mixed nectar. Nectar was the drink of the gods in ancient Greek mythology. Nectar, and under a festivity, through a festival that is associated with the Aphrodite religion, again, connection with the religious practices in ancient Greece. But things are not different. They keep moving on the same direction with Sappho, Odysseus, Elitis. Let's coloring the action and see how things are articulated and presented in Odysseus Elitis Action ST. The first passage, praised be the light and man's first rock-curved prayer, the vigor in the beast leading the sun, the plant that wobbles so the day rose. You see that the first two words, because for me it's very important to do close reading on text. This is the magic behind the lines, to understand, to interpret the most fundamental core things when doing research, not only on colors, but generally on different maybe themes or topics. Praise be, in capital, you see the praise of universe. This is the first two lines that refer to the Bible's lines about the born of the universe, the light and the man, the logos, the discourse. We have, as we see, something that is born. The vigor in the beast, the sun, the plant, and the day rose. Again, we have the sun, the yellow, plants, and rose. The day rose, the color of rose. The small heron on the top of the church line in the morning like fragrant bergamot, a pure pebble down in the depth, the roofs and plantations of the azure sky. We have again the heron, fragrant bergamot, this orange color, and the azure sky. You see that poet is, as we say, this has the merit to travel in apostrophes, in double apostrophes, to travel from the smallest to the biggest, from the top of the church, again, connotations with religion, to the sky, to have this horizon, paneptopticon, is, as we say in Greece, pandepoptis, see everything, map everything with no limit. This is the magic, but not to get the totality, not to get, as we say, the wholeness. Again, this is something to mention. We, as we say, travel within the geography, within the spatiality, but we don't, as we say, get the totality of spatiality. The tolling winds that perform liturgies, that raise the sea like the Holy Virgin, that blow and set the oranges on fire, that whistle for the mountain and they come running. You see that we have liturgies, Holy Virgin, again, references to religion, oranges on fire, mountain, these connections with the non-human world. Hera of the trees' ancient trunk, the vast laurel grove, the light devouring, a house like an anchor down the depths, and Hera Penelope twisting her spindle. Praise be the wooden tables, the blonde wine with the sun stain, the blonde wine. Because wine is here a blonde wine, not the red wine. Blonde wine correlates with the sun, with the color of the sun that is yellow. The water doodling across the ceiling, the philodendron, again, the philodendron is these philos, to be friends with the trees on duty in the corner. So you see that things are, again, ontologically perceived, conceived, and articulated. The trees stir with goodwill, the musical notation of another world. Yes, it's something that it sounds like another world. Like the speaker of Elitis is Elitis himself, but we say the speaker of Elitis, that actually it seems that he is in another world. He transcends things, see the visible and invisible things that we cannot even touch, we cannot even imagine. The ancient belief that there are always exist, the very near yet still unseen, the seen and unseen. This is the merit of the poet, to articulate, to present the seen and unseen. The shadow that bends them against the earth, something yellow in their remembering, their ancient dancing over graves, their wisdom that has no price to eat. Lily, rose, jasmine, violet, lilac, hyacinth, carnation, narcissus, aster, so many rich vegetation, rich flora that we have here in Greece. And we see all these flowers, these varieties, olive, pomegranate, peach, pine, poplar, plane tree, oak, beech, cypress, and again, trees that are also found in Greek vegetation. Of course, the list is endless. There is the poems here, the passages are not catalogs of things, but are examples of these, as we say, varieties, the connections of humans and non-humans, and elitists, things like an ecosystem, things like a vivid, evolutionary ecosystem. So it is very, as we say, challenging to understand that we have a little bit of post-anthropocentrism here, a post-anthropocentric narrative written by an anthropos. And the last line is, as we say, the epitome of everything, dear colleagues. And forever, this small world and the great, the micro and mega cosmos, the micro and mega world, forever means that we have this circularity with capital, you see. It translates the ancient Greek word ai. Ai means forever. And all these are, as we say, forever. There is circularity, endless, no end. This is the perception of the poets, that there is this continuity for everything, including colors, because colors are always forever here with us and will be forever. And this is the world, this is the magic and the universe. Color symbiosis is, as we say, a storytelling device for reading and interpreting texts in comparative literature, and not only, but I'm doing research on comparative literature, so I feel that color symbiosis is like mathematics here, a function of interaction between colors, different colors, yellow, dark, black, white, and the factors that influence positive aesthetic response to color. Differences, age, gender, personality, emotions, cultural experience, like Sappho and the ladies, embodied experience with other in nature. The context is very important to understand the colors through the context, in their context as they are, includes setting and ambient lighting, intervening perceptual effects, and the effects of time. Time is fundamental to, as we say, see how things are evolutionary progressed. So color phenomenology, this is actually a forthcoming article of mine that is about to be published in a month or so in Comparative Literature Complete. The journal Comparative Literature is the journal that is published by the European Comparative Literature Association, European Society of Comparative Literature, to be exactly in the name. And this is actually my research on subphoenolitis about plants and colors. Colors also are part. So color poetry and poetics is this channel to understand how lyricism as an ontological condition make us to perceive life forms in terms of an ecocentric approach, to resist the binaries, to overcome nature, culture, human, non-humans. So a lyric color-oriented approach is this experience of opening, dissolve, potential, this turn, as we say, that we have to consider in environmental humanities, in the turn in humanities, the color turn, and to approach, reapproach, re-examine, re-evaluate again the presence, functionalities, features of colors in poetry and poetics, not only of humans, but also of non-human world, because this is what we have to as we say, contribute in the current scholarship to understand the non-humans, the voice of non-humans, the rights of non-humans, and color, as we say, their world through our colors. It is symbiotic again. Thank you very much for your attention.
All right, thank you very much. That was fantastic. A really nice presentation, very thought-provoking, and lots of interesting ideas. If it's okay, I have a few questions that I've been taking notes as you've been presenting, and it was very thoughtful and thought-provoking. What I'm left thinking about is the relationship between words and colors, or language and color, which is an interesting question in general, but of course you focus on it kind of more specifically when you look at these poets. So I want to hear a bit more about that, about how you think about the relationship between the between colors and words. And I guess as an opening question, you mentioned earlier eco-phenomenology, and of course one of the big questions in phenomenology is access to the world and being in the world, and getting closer to, quote, the things themselves. So I wonder if you can say more about, would you say that language and words help bring us closer to colors or the world? Or do you feel that, do you feel that words are complementary to colors? Or do they add a new layer of inaccessibility because they're contingent in the sense that they're subjective and depend on, the author, the poet's use of language? So that's a kind of broad and open-ended question. But it seems that as you were speaking earlier, we can say that in a few of your first overheads, we can say that color is something that is both experienced or perceived, but also evident in physical reality, whether it be in the chemical composition of paint or other plants or this kind of thing. So we have this combination of evidence in physical reality with human experience, or human perception, and how those two work together or don't, or interrupt each other. And then the other layer, of course, is language and words. We can attempt to represent colors and words, through language, but that would seem to add a whole new layer of both beauty and obscurity, or beauty and contingency. But also, like in your last few sentences, it adds a bit of playfulness, in the sense that we can even use the word color itself to talk about, to use poetically or evocatively, or playfully and ambiguously. That's the word color in general, rather than even any particular colors. So that's kind of an open-ended question. I'm wondering if you can speak a bit more about.
Great. As I say, thank you very much for the feedback and the questions and suggestions and thoughts. Much appreciated, because I think that we are, as we say, on the common ground of how we have to reevaluate colors in text, because we are working in text, and I think that things are different in arts and the other, as we say, text, if it is permitted, let's say media or films, but we are, as we say, cultural text, so the ground is, we say, common. Yes, language is a barrier, because starting from ancient Greek literature, of course, we have the first barrier that some words, some phrases are not the same with the modern Greek. Let's start, as we say, from the language, the Greek language, through historicity, historically. When we translate ancient Greek into modern Greek, yes, we face this challenge of not keeping the meaning, the core sometimes of the initial word. Yes, let's overcome this barrier and keep moving to English. Things are very different here because these texts have been translated from ancient Greek, from modern Greek into English. And believe me or not, in Greek, we have, for example, for beauty, 5-6 words to articulate beauty, and in English it's beauty. I mean, it's, as we say, it's very challenging for us as Greeks to oh, we have lost the meaning in the end, because beauty is not, as we say, something more, this more or even less in text. Let's overcome again language. We have to overcome the barriers of language to, as we say, get the, not to lose the magic, not to lose the coloring of text as they stand. But yes, language sets barriers of transcend, as we say, the knowledge, transcend the context, transcend the meaning, but at the same time create this chiasm, this hiatus of having the meaning that is uncoded, is decoded, to decode and, as we say, code at the same time. Yes, language is the first factor that operates differently in different texts, in different eras, in different situations, conditions, but at the same time, Litis and Sappho, let's say, at least these two, are pairing together. They perceive the colors in a roughly same way through religious practices, in terms of religion, in Greece, associated with the Greek flora, but different angles and perspectives. This is the first thing. The other thing that is very challenging is when doing research in comparative literature, you have to consider the limits and barriers of the other. It means that you have to get yourself familiar with the style of writing, of the biocosmic perception of the two, as we say, or three or more authors. This is again challenging. But for me, it's what is intriguing in the end of the day is that colors in text, it seems that act, function symbiotically, and there is this democracy, this polyphony through diversity. It means that the anthropocentric and post-anthropocentric narratives have the same, roughly the same approach, but what we have to understand is this color turn in humanities, in environmental humanities and post-humanities, and the repairing, the restore through colors, because color, a color doesn't divide, it unites. Divide, maybe someone tells we have different colors. Yes, that divide us. No, but through color, through colors, we have this unity, we have this symbiosis, and this is something challenging. Again, this hiatus of, let's, as we say, stuck on Merleau-Ponty's later ontology. But I feel that color should repair, should restore our relationship with the world, not only with between humans, but with the world around us. And text, artworks, different media, films, different cultural products are in this direction to help us restore our relationship, I think, at least, with the other, and not, as we say, in total degree, in totality, but let's say, as we say, like a fragments. I mean, we cannot even touch everything through wholeness, but this is something, again, that I'm always curious. And another thing that we have to address is when doing research on colors in text, in audio text, on films and so forth, in different, again, cultural texts, it is important to understand how chromatic color ecologies shed light on concepts like pluralism, again, turn and tangled natures. If we are talking about a color turn in environmental humanities and post-humanities scholarship, because this turn means that we open discourses, methodologies, disciplines, explore the reparative potential of situated relationship and assemblances. So this turn in humanities, let's say in environmental humanities and post-humanities, because these are the, as we say, trends right now in humanities, demonstrates how we think as color, with colors at the same time, not in pairs at the same time, not only theoretically, but also as a generative practice, one that embraces creativity, pluralism, and the interwoven unity of life forms. So I feel that color turn recognizes, rethinks, reevaluates the entanglements of humans and colors as we approach color, not, let's say, merely as a matter of subjective perception, but as a material force with its own agency and influence, impact on humans and non-human world. This is something to raise awareness, as we say, of the materialities that we affect simply by living. But the discussion is open, let's say, and this is something that not only that I'm studying in my monograph, but also in special issue that we are also preparing about color ecologies, and another edited collection about chromatic ecologies and the color turn, combining not only environmental humanities, as we say, not studying not only environmental humanities, but also combining research with post-humanities and the post-anthropocentric narratives, to see, as we say, to extract, because we have chromatic conflict, we have chromatic awareness, we have the justice and repair and the colonial care, we have multisensory and ecodelic futures. So there are, as we say, many layers, many axes to approach and reapproach through text. Texts are the vital source, treasure for this thing. Mm-hmm.
That's very fascinating. You added a lot more really interesting ways to think about color and language in the world. To construe it as a material force with agency is quite captivating. I'm still left wondering about the link to language. Language is something that is brought about by human beings and between human beings and for human beings. So I'm brought back to the question of whether you see language as something that is an impediment to make it more difficult to access the material force of color, or do you see language as something that opens and allows greater accessibility or impact of this the material force of color?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. Actually, a great question to raise, as we say, and think ontologically about the language as it stands ontologically. And it means that things, again, are very complex because language and linguistic matter and eco-linguistics, because we have this discipline of eco-linguistics doing research on language and linguistic matter and patterns of language. I feel that when we articulate ourselves right now, we speak as, let's say, about red or black. But when we read the articulations of others in poetry, let's say, or prose in poetry, because poetry is this metaphorical language and full of symbols and symbolism and so forth, things are much more complicated, because for us, black is, okay, associated with death, but for a poet in a text, black is associated not only with death, but also maybe it's associated with religion, it's associated with non-human world. We have to think, as we say, in many layers when doing analysis of the other's language, not of our language. I feel this is something challenging to we approach and reapproach colors in text through our linguistic, as we say, tool, through our language, but at the same time, we interpret the language of the other, and maybe we miss again something. I feel that always we miss something when doing, as we say, analysis and interpretation of the others and not of us. And of us as well, we miss things, because this is we cannot even touch through language the totality of things. I feel that everything, always we touch the fragment, everything we touch something that is missing, and then let's fill, as we say, the missing gap. But language is a way to approach, as we say, again, text. This is the only mode, as we say, to approach and reevaluate things in the end of the day, I feel. But we always miss something, and this something is that we cannot even understand and touch. This is, as we say, lyricism again. Poets would like to articulate themselves through lyricism in order to touch everything. It's impossible to touch everything through language, even through our mind, I feel.
And things, of course, are made even more difficult through the necessity of translation, because what you're dealing with here today as well, you're dealing with modern Greek poets, but you're also dealing with ancient Greek, like Sappho and others. So that adds into English, so that adds a new additional layer and difficulty in this process.
Yes, and I think that again, when doing a translation from not only from Greek into English, but from ancient Greek into modern Greek, there are differences, because here in Greece we are talking modern Greek. Of course, we have, when doing research and studies in classics and ancient Greek, personally, I have done many courses on classics and ancient Greek. Of course, there are connections with modern Greek, but the grammar, the structure are different, not, as we say, like modern Greek. Modern Greek is very simplified. Ancient Greek is polytonic. There are many tones in ancient Greek, but in modern Greek, we have one tone in our word system. So this is challenging by nature, but the colors, I see that they are roughly the same, but in ancient Greek, they have the merit to, as we say, analyze them, to have better wording in ancient Greek. Many words, many, as we say, deep focus, deep thought, deep eye, as we say, close reading, many variations of red, not only red. Red is kokino in Greek, but in ancient Greek is kokino, erythro, many words. I mean, the many tones, many, as we say, variations of colors, of the same color. Two, three variations of the same color in ancient Greek, but in modern Greek we have one. In English is one, and maybe in English is not, as we say, like the rest, and we miss, as we say, the meaning, because yes, red, but in Sappho is not exactly red, is pale red. I mean, these things, when doing research, is, as we say, details in the end, but we keep, as we say, the common ground that all of them connect, as we say, colors with history, with Greece, with vegetation, with the moment of their time. They are not separated from what they are doing or studying. I mean, and these are the biggest. Of course, there are other lyric poets. We have many in the pantheons of poets in all countries across the globe, in Greece as well. But for me, the most challenging thing is when doing comparative literature to find, as we say, these dialogues, the bridges between the past and the present. This is something challenging to see, as we say, how past authors interpret and analyze them. There's a great source of the past, the indigenous in other cultures, let's say. Yes.
Great. Okay. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate that compelling description you've given us and engagement in some questions. And great to hear also about your publications that sound like some of them are forthcoming. Um, so thank you very much for joining us. That's fantastic.
Thank you very much. It was my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll stop the recording at this point, which would be 1:31. I'm just going to write that 1:31. Yeah, that was really nice. I really excuse me. Yeah, I
Yes.
really enjoyed that.
I suppose that scholars join us or not. I have not seen, as we say, something or not. No.
I didn't see many. There's the one with the same
None.
last name as you, Theodora
Yes,
Zampaki.
it's my sister
Oh,
actually.
I thought so. Some family member,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, we have someone, but I suppose the other maybe see the recording. It would be nice to see,
They're
as we
gonna have to
say.
see the recording. So it's Friday today. So we'll edit that and put that together and put it on our YouTube tomorrow or next week. And
Okay.
we also have a newsletter monthly coming out soon.
Mhm.
And we can notify people there. I'll send you the link once we have it.
Fantastic. Okay.
Um, there were people that were in the live stream. Like I saw the numbers going back and forth when you guys were trying to figure out that stuff. It was I could see 6 people and then 10 people, then 8 people and 10 people. So I think there were some people coming and going. Um, Obviously, if we knew it would take so much time and it wouldn't work, then we would have just switched earlier to Teams.
I would say I'm always I'm now thinking what maybe it was something for me. Apologies if it was something. I mean, you can hear me. I mean, in the as we say, when initially joined, I was hearing John,
Yes,
and
yeah, it was
it
perfect. There
was
was no problems. So somehow, I don't know when, and I don't know if it's a coincidence that around, Ken left our meeting and then when it was
Mhm.
just you and I together. So I don't know if that's a coincidence, but from what I could see that there was some kind of microphone setting that you weren't able to change.
Yes,
That seemed to be some kind of default.
yes,
But obviously either that one worked earlier or it changed to that setting. But Ken is very good. He's very knowledgeable. So if he wasn't able to get that figured out, then I don't know what was going on. But it does make me think that despite the benefits of live stream, um, I mean, like in Teams, like if people join our meeting and they write things in chat, I don't know if I can stop that. And so there's also a 1 minute lag in live stream, and I can moderate the discussion. So there's a lot of advantages. It's complicated. That's why I needed a bit of a refresher from him in the beginning. Anyhow, I'm really sorry that didn't work out, but we do
no
have the
worries because
recording.
I'm wondering if I'm doing something wrongly. I mean, from my end, it was sorry again, apologies, but it was something that the first platform that we have actually experienced. But okay, let's, as we say, take it into consideration for the next meetings, maybe
Yes,
MS Teams or Zoom or something
yes,
similar.
exactly.
WebEx. I'm using WebEx personally. I'm using WebEx from my university. It's okay, but Teams is also fine. I mean, it's great to see, as we say, Teams. Yes, okay.
Yeah, it still
Mhm.
seemed to it still seemed to work okay. Did you do a reboot when you were with Can? Did you do the total reboot of your computer?
Yes, I have
Yeah.
rebooted my computer and reopened the browser again, and seems that was the same. But check again with John the audio settings of mine here in my PC. Reinstall, as we say, another voice, another sound with the proper. But it seems that you can hear me. I mean, in other platforms, and you hear me
Yeah,
initially. But no worries. I mean,
yeah,
we are okay. No worries. No worries. It's
yeah.
the same to see, as we say, the whole planet will see the recording. It's the same, as we
Yeah,
say. It's
yeah, yeah. We do have
different.
good do have good numbers in our YouTube channel.
Yes.
300, 400 people watching after. So that's great. And I was also going to mention this really was a great paper. I really enjoyed it. And I know towards the end you mentioned some things about publishing. If you haven't
Yes.
already, then there's a
Uh,
journal that's associated with the PRI called Interconnections.
yes.
So if you haven't published all of it, maybe you just publish like a portion, then consider submitting to that journal because I think it really would fit.
Yes, I know that Christina has also told me about the journal interconnections, and I have in my mind something to propose there, like a special issue or something similar for the
Okay.
journal. It would be fantastic, I feel, at some point.
Yes, yes. Yeah, check with her. She's the editor and would know more about future issues coming up, especially special issues. But you have two choices, right? You can either do a whole special issue, or you could just do your own individual paper.
Great, and maybe we have to consider for next events or maybe for next year something, because we organize, I mean, with some scholars and my supervisor, actually, we have some projects on air. So it would be something nice to organize something like a book launch or even a book event about the forthcoming edition of us is Chromatic Ecologies will be published by Bloomsbury next year. So it would be something good. Environmental humanities, post-humanities, this is, as we said, the first publication. The other is a special issue on colors at Story Walls, journal in Nebraska University Press. And okay, my monograph is, as we say, in progress, because it will take some time for me to finish it. But the edited collection is edited by Professor Carpuzzo, my supervisor, Professor Scott Slovic in the United States of America, and myself. So it would be nice to have, as we say, like a book launch by next year, after summer.
Yes.
Summer and after, I mean.
Yes, we can definitely talk about that. So can you tell me also more about the Greek context? Is there a posthumanism community there?
Not exactly, because in Greece situation here, think that my PhD thesis was the first PhD thesis that was about environmental humanities in modern Greek studies. My PhD thesis was about nature embodying Walt Whitman and Angelos Sikelianos, comparative, literary case. Walt Whitman, American, US, and Angelos Sikelianos, modern Greek, doing research on eco-criticism, eco-psychology, eco-phenomenology here in Greece. It was very, very, very challenging for Greeks and traditional, as we say, background that we have. Posthumanism, not, but we are, as we say, 2-3 scholars that are working right now on post-humanities. Environmental humanities is, as we say, much more solid. Posthumanism is not, as we say, so much widely accepted, because it's the traditional, again, minds that we have, the scholars, that they are afraid to study, as we say, something new. But we are keep moving mostly with publications in English. And personally, I am publishing in Greek, mostly in environmental humanities, as we say. Not so much in post-humanities, but in English, yes, it is good, because we bring something new. We, as we say, present in scholars here that we have strong networks out there, overseas. We promote research, we promote all of you. I mean, now that I have promoted my online lecture today with you at Brock University, many clicks, many likes, many scholars in Greece that they see, oh, wow, this is a new topic, something new in research. Let's see, as we say, let's keep in touch. We promote things here, but not just, as we say, promotion or marketing, because we are not, as we say, market, but we would like to support the studies to bring new things in research. I am postdoctoral researcher. Now, actually, I'm adjunct lecturer at the Hellenic Naval Academy here in Athens, in Greece. Also doing some lectures and courses in another university in Poland. I'm teaching remotely. And of course, my aim is, yes, at some point to apply for a position here in Greece, because I'm Greek, okay. Too much, as we say, research right now, to things. Keep struggling, keep going with our own funds, no funding. You know that in Greece, we don't have institutional funding for such things. For our own funding. I mean, the economy doesn't support such things to do research. No. And postdoctoral researcher means that there are no salary for me. So this is why I'm teaching in Hellenic Naval Academy. It's an institution here in Greece. I'm supporting the studies wholeheartedly with passion, dedicated. I'm very young, okay, early career researcher, but we face not only the competitiveness, okay, of overseas, but the situation here in Greece is, as we say, not like, as we say, everywhere. people are always jealous what we are doing. You are doing so many things. You are, as we say, good, okay, but no, as we say, ears to such things. Keep moving and continue, because this is the aim of doing good research as much as we can. I know we have good history. We have, we say, so many texts, but Greece is behind, as we say, behind too many things. This is the bad, as we say. The professors here are not so happy to collaborate or even to be not like me to communicate with others. They are so narrow, as we say, in their home, not open,
not a broad mind.
Yes, this is something to, okay, but let's keep moving, and we have to start from somewhere to stand in our feet. I know that you are here, you welcome us, you accept us. This is something new. We are, as we say, minority in the world, Greece again, with two, as we say, broad history text and things, but this is for me very encouraging to continue.
Good. Okay, I agree with all that, and I hope that you're able to get the position you're looking for in Greece and gain some interest in the field too. But in the meantime, I'll let you know once the YouTube link is ready, and we'll have it on our website, and I can share it with you.
Okay, thank you very much, dear Trevor. Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye for now.